I feel like I'm missing so much. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's like so much stuff I'm not getting. You know, like he's like, oh yeah, that's the third movie. There's two other ones. I was like, what? You made me watch the third movie as a kid? I was like, what the hell? So we went back, but they didn't have A New Hope. They had Empire. So I picked up Empire because I wanted to watch it. And then finally, they re-released the trilogy in VHS, and I think it was like 96, 97. And that's when I picked it up and finally got to see A New Hope. And I mean, I re-watched that trilogy 100 times growing up, like at least that first year, you know?
Yeah, I was at the age, so I was born in 78. So I was actually, if you can do the math, I was born in February of 78. So you go back 9 months. I claim that I was conceived on Star Wars Day, so May 25th, 77. Nice. And I didn't come up with that until about a year ago. And I asked my dad, he's like, how the hell would I know that? Ask your mom. And I asked my mom, she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay. I mean, it would make sense though. Maybe that's why.
52 weeks. Take it. I'll take it. You were born on. You were meant to be a Star Wars kid. You were born and raised there.
40 weeks later by injection. You know that's how Star Wars might be working, or in my blood. So
it's in the DNA.
But we'll get to back to Star Wars in a second. There's a lot more to you than Star Wars, from what I've heard and what I've picked up. Like me, I'm just a Star Wars guy. That's all I got. That's all I got working with me. But you have some other things in your pocket.
Yeah, so over on Live It, I do a lot of things. Being a man already as a streamer, it's very hard. You got to come up with a lot of content, and then being a married man is even harder, because then I don't even get like girls that want to like come and objectify me, giving me coins, you know. So I got to really come up with content, and I do stuff like game shows. I host like panel discussions like this. I do a lot of stuff with OBS and Streamlabs and all that kind of stuff, because it's you know, I got to make it pop. I got to make it interesting and stuff. And I've been learning so much. And you know, sometimes it's just as simple as just turning on the camera and talking. You know, I just love it. Part of one of my jobs is I work as a marketing director for a comic book publisher, and the main thing with that is I go to comic book conventions all around the country and the world. And obviously this year there was none of that. So I had all this just energy. I don't know how else to put it. I just had this energy stuck in me. I was trying to figure out a way to get out, and I just randomly fell upon Live It. And it's been such a great platform for me to kind of play around and do stuff with. And I've met so many amazing people and streamers and stuff. And it's just really great. And I've started coming over here to YouTube and stuff and doing stuff on YouTube with different people. And the whole live streaming thing is really new to me. I've been into it for under a year. Like I never even watched streams or done any of that before this. Like Instagram and Facebook Live was as close to live streaming that I had seen in my life. And obviously that's not the same thing as like a legit stream show. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's been a blast, seriously, being able to do all this stuff. I salute anyone that gets on and does a stream, because wow, it's unbelievably hard. It really is, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just getting into the different platforms and learning about them, because I've streamed on obviously YouTube for about 3 years now, and Twitch a little bit here and there. Twitch is more, I think, for gaming though, until you get that, you know, that kind of niche, and then you can build off of that. But you know, and Facebook and a couple other things around, but Live It's different, because with Facebook and YouTube, you know, if I have a slow day and nobody watches my stream, I'm still going to get the same number of views on that stream, you know, by the end of the week or the end of the month, because people that didn't watch it that day are going to go catch it later. On Live It, there's no recordings. It's you're watching me live, and that's it. So it's more set up a schedule, and you know, getting the people in there, and once they're in there, keeping them, because if they want to go cook dinner, they got to decide, do I want to cook dinner now, or do I want to cook dinner later? Or do I want to take my phone with me or my computer with me in there while I'm doing it? Where with YouTube, you just hit pause and you come back tomorrow. So it's a little bit different. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of a learning experience. And I'm honestly, I'm out of my comfort zone, because I'm not used to having to be, you know, have it that way. I'm used to I can and do whatever, and then if I don't like it, I can edit it, or just things of that nature. So yeah, it's a real learning experience. But I mean, that's kind of the same way I was. I was watching some YouTube people before Solo came out, and I was like, half these people are morons. They don't know anything about Star Wars.
Right.
I want to make some
bunch of cash motherfuckers, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, pretty much. It's like they don't know what the hell they're talking about. I want to make some Star Wars friends, and so the next day I had YouTube. I had Facebook. That's the only thing I had. But the next day I had YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, couple other things that don't even exist anymore. And I just kind of went all out. I did it the wrong way. Instead of doing one and focusing on that and kind of building off of it, I just kind of hit it. Instead of using a rifle, I used a shotgun. So it's a lot.
Hit the spread.
It's a lot harder. It's a lot harder that way. And I don't know if it's still working or not, but I'm still here after 3 years. So, and just branching off into Live It now, and I'm playing video games on there, and I'm talking to people, and it's just kind of different because I was like, okay, I'm going to be talking about video games and Star Wars and stuff like that, and now I'm learning that people actually want to talk to me about other stuff in my life, and that's I don't know why, but
gaming streams on Live It are really interesting because you gotta either have a game that's really engaging that can keep people wanting helping out and stuff like that, or you gotta have a game that you can pause and talk to people and stuff, because that's what people want on Live It. They're there to have a conversation with you. They're there to hang out with you. It's a really different kind of platform for that. People come on the YouTube to see a show. People come on the Live It to become friends. If that makes any sense.
It really does.
Yeah, and you're right. It's a completely different beast. You can't. Yeah, some people some of the best streamers on the app. We're talking internationally. Literally, just sit in front of the camera and just say thank you for coins. They get to that point. Of course, those are hot girls in Taiwan. That's a completely different situation. But still, you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean on that.
So what?
I know exactly what you mean on that.
Yeah, I've had conversations with, I don't know if you know Rojack. And Stanson and stuff. We've had conversations let's just do deep fakes, bro, and we'll just have big boobs. It'll be great. We'll get a bunch of coins.
I mean, that's I think that's all you really need sometimes for Live It. I mean, like you said, you don't, if you have good content, you're gonna make some coins, and you're gonna do well on there.
Yeah.
If you're pretty or have big boobs, you're gonna do well on there. If you're somewhere in between, you got to work hard for it.
And this guy right here, I'm constantly coming up with content stuff, man, constantly. And I think that's something that can be said about all kinds of platforms. Don't ever always look to the next thing. No matter what you're doing, yes, you shouldn't be focusing on what's in front of you, but always think about the next thing. You can always develop it later, but have the ideas, have things ready to go, because you never know. You just never know. Things can evolve too past what you even think. I started off doing trivia nights with literally just writing down questions and people answering questions, just like that. That's simple. And then it got to the point where I was I started doing OBS and realized I'm good at Photoshop. Let's just make a bunch of slides and do multiple choice trivia questions and get people in that way. And then I learned that, oh no, there's kind of a delay, so you got to worry about those kind of things, when everyone's trying to answer at once, that some people might have better internet than the other people and not be able to get it right. So, I just figured out how to develop it and do better. And I came up, that's when, did you ever see any of the Word Links tournament that I did?
Yeah, a little bit of it. That was, I saw a little bit of it.
So that was a little bit easier because there wasn't any necessary speed that was with it. It's just about getting the answer in, because everyone would have a turn. And I realized then it's even then there's still a little bit of a delay. That's why I had to have Steffi. If you don't know, it's Steffi. Follow It's Steffi. She's Uncooked Pasta on Instagram. She is a good friend of mine and a great streamer. Just great energy, and having her on there was really good idea, patting myself on the back, because we were able to, on the downtimes, able to go back, do some banter and going back and forth and keeping everyone engaged and all that kind of stuff, even when we're sitting there waiting, And then after that, I remember it was we had finished the 5-week tournament, and then I finished 1 week where I was like, I didn't hang out with Steffi. I was like, I missed her. And so I hit up her and Sarah Who, because we always do Vine references with each other. So I was like, hey, guess what? We're going to have a Vine off in my stream. And I was like, I'm going to ask you trivia questions about Vine and you're going to answer them. And then we're going to play the videos from those Vines. And I was like, I'll just put it together real quick. It'll be easy, right? But then, like, once I got on there, I realized, oh, I can't screen share on Zoom. I can't do this and that with OBS and trying to work everything. And I, like, straight up had to hack the matrix just to make it all work. And, like, that kind of stuff always makes me so fun. Like, when you get to figure out how to make things work, you know, like, I don't know. That's what I'm into. And this whole streaming kind of subculture, I guess you could call it, is really interesting, and has actually helped me get jobs in the industry, in the film industry and stuff like that, with this kind of stuff, doing live broadcasting stuff. Like, I'm starting to become like a professional guy, like with broadcasting, and I'm even talking to people that work for like news organizations and networks, and they're like using some of the same technology I am, and I'm just like, oh my god, you know, this is awesome. You know, like this year was not a bust after all. You know, I actually, if I didn't walk away with a lot of money or, you know, all the things I wanted for my career, but I definitely upgraded my skills this year, and I'm really happy about that. How about you? How do you use OBS too, or no?
I use OBS, and that was a real learning experience, just because, you know, different platform, the layout's different. So even just really quick, I want to say hi to Surf Turtle Nick over, or Rick. I'm sorry, Surf Turtle Rick over on Limit, and we have Kylo Customs over in the chat on YouTube.
Kylo.
There's so many people there, but
hey Kylo, where you been? Get it? Because he's been solo.
Yeah, dad joke, but okay. Yeah. No,
I'm sorry. With Star Wars jokes, I always try to force them.
Yeah, you do.
Case in point.
You're also a very good rapper. I'm gonna have to contact you about maybe. I need a new intro for my YouTube and other things. So maybe we can figure something out. And
yeah, whatever. So no, I wouldn't give myself. I would not put on the hat or the resume that I'm a rapper. I'm more of a writer, per se. Obviously the Star Wars rap was something that it was a passion of mine, and I perform it. I won't let anyone else touch it. But I'm mostly a writer and a poet. You know, I haven't done any other songs since then. I finished that back in 2013. So yeah, that was that was another learning experience. You know, figuring out how to work a green screen and like. Working the videos and like editing and being in the studio. That was nerve-wracking, being in the studio. Like,
well, it's like all these things that we're doing for, you know, for fun, or, you know, to make ends meet, or to help out, you know, a little bit. Like, I would love if I could make, you know, millions of dollars or a couple $100,000 on YouTube, or, you know, whatever it is. But you know, it hasn't happened for me, and I really don't think it ever will, because that's 1 in a million,
right? Literally,
that it happens for. So
I'm just popping in your stream, give it a little boost.
Why, thank you. But yeah, you know, but I'm learning things. Like, I've learned so much about computers just because I need a new computer, so I needed to know. You know, I taught myself about graphic card. I taught myself about memory and what to do, and spent hours researching and, you know, just doing everything like that. So I'm in no way a computer expert, but I know a lot more than I did 3 years ago, and I know a hell of a lot more than in the last couple months than I did. And just switching with platforms, and I mean, just this is all computer nerd shit, but, you know, with bit rates and going from different, you know, platforms, and you have to set things differently up on YouTube, and, you know, YouTube and Twitter and Twitch, everything streams pretty much the same, but you go over to Live It, everything's ass backwards, and you got to stack it. If you try and do it one way, it comes up tiny, and you know, so it was. But you know, that's where it's really funny, because a lot of the other platforms you go to, if I just went on, you know, a platform and said, hey guys, I'm new here. I can't figure it out. Help me. They'd be like, fuck you. I guess you're never going to make it. Over there, it's like you got 10 different people and join my Discord and I'll help you. Hey, is that working for you? Hey, I noticed you were having a problem with this. Can you do this or can you do that? And
the positivity and the environment over there is just so like nice, and like you don't see that in just in real life at all, let alone a place where people are literally competing for coins. Like why would someone help you make your stream better when they're trying to make money themselves and make their own stream better? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that gets to what I was saying with YouTube. Like right now, when I started doing Monday nights on here, pre-COVID, I was one of the only people doing Monday nights. Now there's about 10 or 15 people doing Monday nights, and they're friends of mine, and it's not a big deal. So like right now, Kylo just said, "Where's everybody at?" Because I usually have, a bunch more people in here in the chat. The chat's more active, but now there's 10 more people doing shows at the exact same time as me. But it's not a big deal. My chat's slower. I'm still getting the same number of views because they're coming back and watching it later. So
right, it's just not live. Yeah,
I just don't have the interaction. But with Live It, it's the complete opposite. If they're not watching, then you're not getting your likes, you're not getting your coins, you're not making your money, and that's kind of where it's at. But
there is things you could do, like I have a million in my cache, but like you can always record like on OBS and like post it other places for people to kind of see it and that kind of stuff. This is probably the smartest way to kind of do what you're doing. Just like with being on YouTube, and because then, like you said, like it's instantly, like we're doing it live, and then people can watch it live or watch it later. You know what I mean? In fact, someone I usually watch live on YouTube. I don't know if you know Lyrica. She's part of my league on Live It. She also has a show, a channel on here called that her and Yaki are on, where they just kind of like hang out and like they sing and do games and all that kind of stuff. It's mostly in Tagalog, but sometimes they'll speak in English for me. But I remember one time they posted a video and I thought it was live, and so I go on and I'm like, where's the live chat? I was like, oh, right here in comments. And so I started saying, hey, what's up? And I was like, oh, wait a minute, this isn't live. That's why they're not reacting to me right now.
Yeah,
hey, PJ, what's up? How's it going, PJ? PJ in the house. She goes by PJ, guys. Remember that.
She does go by PJ. And, I would just like to let you know, I'm not saying I'm the reason for it, but I became PJ's guardian the other day, and she's had a fucking phenomenal few days since then. I'm just saying. I don't want to say I have anything. Maybe I don't have anything to do with it directly, but it's just that guardian looking over you, kind of. There's actually a couple other streamers that happened to. So
there's no evidence that says it's not you.
And all the evidence says that it is.
Exactly. So
I would actually have to look at the details and see, the best days or whatever, and the best hours, and actually have a breakdown in the spreadsheets and whatnot. But from as far as I know, we're just going to go with it.
Yeah, I'm sold. I'm sold. In fact, if I'm ever in a room when you take their guardian, I will tell them, you are so lucky. Congratulations on your great month you're about to have.
Yeah, or at least 2 days, whatever, until somebody steals it. But
did you see everything that popped off over the lamp, over this freaking lamp right here?
No, you have a lamp? So
my wife found this llama lamp at Target and brought it home to me. Boom, snack. And we were just doing a really chill stream on the first of the month. I was like, I have to at least show up. We're not going to do any gaming or like anything hardcore OBS. Let's just get in front of the camera and just talk. You know what I'm saying? She's like, yeah, cool, no problem. So we're talking, and then we're talking about anime and like going into it. And then she goes, oh, you should get that lamp that I got you. I was like, okay. And I brought it in, and she's like, I want to name it. And I was like, no, I don't want to name it. She's like, I want to name it. So we put up a poll. Like, should we name it? Should we not name it? And like, it went back and forth. And like that, we got like so many votes so fast. I think we ended up with like 1,100 votes within like seconds from people. And it just crashed literally my stream stopped. It didn't even show me achievement. And then it just stopped. Like, what? So I was like, what just happened? So I get back on. And then we said, I didn't see the end vote. What was the end vote? And someone's like, he won. We're going to name it. So then we started 2 more polls about Samuel L. Llama or Lakeisha, and it got over like 3,000 votes. It was craziness. Like just for a freaking llama lamp. Like the people's freaking like Elizabeth's like, that's so much drama for one llama.
That's where the no drama llama comes in, huh?
Exactly. That's why she bought it for me, because she knows about my no drama llama. Yeah. And I'm thinking too in my head, I'm like, that's so livid. Like I'll sit here and prep for hours to get my stream ready and have an all right stream. And then here I am, just let's name this lamp, and I'm getting freaking 40,000 coins. Like it's insane. It's insane. You know, you never know what you're going to get on there. That happened to me so many. Oh, I bet. Crazy. I bet you got some crazy. I've been in your stream, PJ. You have some crazy fans for sure. Super loyal.
I wouldn't say crazy. I'd say loyal, or yeah. But so, all right.
The good crazy, the royal crazy, if I may.
There's a couple things we touched on, or that you brought up. So you're an author. Mm-hmm. Books.
I have written 2 comic books.
And what are those 2 comic books?
They are called. They were part of a small anthology series with the Accidental Aliens. The story was called Tale of Rust. It's about an anthropomorphic cyborg walrus named Walter Rust and his sidekick and best friend, Leif, who is a futuristic, we call him a techno-Viking warlord. And it's pretty cool. It's fun. I had this artist friend of mine. We were always trying to figure out projects to work on, because he likes to do some things some ways. I like to do things other ways, and we just couldn't find the right project. And finally, we got one together, and we were just having so much fun. Like, they're from the planet genre, so like everything goes. So there's like the kingdom that's like a magical land, and then the republic is like sci-fi, and then there's like, you know, post-apocalyptic areas and western areas and all that kind of stuff. Like we're just having fun with it. We had plans to do a couple more stories, but the artist has had a really bad year, and like with a bunch of other stuff. And I feel bad moving forward with the project without him. So we're just putting it on hold for now. And another project I was supposed to start pitching this year, thank you, COVID, for ruining that for me, was a book called Fistclops and Beatrice. And it's basically X-Men meets Men in Black. Like, superpowers are real, they're genetic, but they're kept under wraps, so no one knows about them. Because like 1 in 100,000 people get it, you know. And it's okay. It's all genetic based, so they can track everything. They know, like, someone can't just have like it's not a mutation like the X-Men per se. So everything's tried to kept under wraps. And the main character's name is Fistclops because he shoots concussive blasts from his fists like Cyclops. So he's like, yeah, but it's not my eyes, it's my fists, Fistclops. But it doesn't make any sense, and no one will actually call him that because clops doesn't mean lasers. And it's a whole joke. And that was another one it's basically my ode to X-Men kind of thing. Like, let's have fun with powers, you know, but not take it so seriously, you know?
Yeah, Kylo just left a message. We have crazies. We do. I'm not going to get into that right now. I've talked about that for the last month or two after some crazy shit went down with psychopathic, opportunistic, asshole motherfuckers. But
what? Okay, you're gonna drop words like opportunistic and motherfucker. Like, at least drop me an email later. I want to hear the tea.
Oh yeah, I'll fill you all in on it. You know, it's been going on for months all over, you know, Twitter and on YouTube, and it's like drama that doesn't need to be done just because people are like, oh, I can capitalize on telling lies, and yeah, just stupid shit. Yeah, and then, you know, it's like a couple of weeks. So I don't know if there was so you're into comic books big time.
Yes.
Yes. We'll segue into that because there's a couple. I know we only have about a half hour left, but we could probably do this many times whenever we can fit you in here. But there was the Bounty Hunters comic book came out. And did you get any of the uproar about that one because there was a pregnant woman that had a gun pointed at her in the comic?
No, most comic book stuff is on Facebook and Twitter, and I stay away from both of those because of the toxicity. So that's why I didn't hear about that.
That's exactly what this happened. So it was on the Star Wars Twitter, and it was, you know, someone that's well known out there, you know, talking about how horrible it was because this woman had a gun pointed at her in the comic book, and she was pregnant. And then it went into, it triggered me because they were going to do this, and they were going to do that. Later on, they killed a different woman. But they didn't even read the comic themselves and just figured it was the same woman. And it just went into, women. And this is where it's going to get weird, because you can't say any of this without being an asshole. It went into women's rights and how women shouldn't have a gun pointed at her. Well, it's a comic book. It's a movie. It happens all the time. They're trying to kill this woman in Star Wars because they don't want the child who is going to be, a leader in the future.
Right.
So it's like, it happens all the time in movies. So then it just gets into, people just going just completely fucking nuts with rape porn, and I had a miscarriage before, and it's like, maybe it'd be like, that is not at all what happened. Oh, so my thoughts aren't valid. Well, your thoughts are valid, but it has absolutely nothing to do with what this has to do. Like, you can't look at a dog and be like, I got hit, I don't like elephants. They have nothing to do with it.
Or this dog right here reminds me of a time that I saw a dog eat somebody else's face or something. Like, you can't blame every single situation. Or no. It's like, you look at a dog and you think, oh, this movie of this dog reminds me of something. Kind of like that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like, look at this dog. I saw an airplane crash once. I'm traumatized by it. Like, just nothing to do with anything.
There it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then and that just went into a whole week-long thing of, you can't defend yourself. Anything you do say to defend yourself, then you're playing the victim. And so it's just, it's just like when I found Star Wars Twitter, it was this great thing of people and whatever. And then, like, as time goes on, it's just like the toxicity. And then, then it kind of leaks into, like I was saying, well, if you don't respect my thoughts, then you're against me. And it's like, well, no, they have nothing to do with each other. But yeah, so I mean, that's just where it comes from. And at the time, then I found Live It too, so it was like great, because now I have this new thing, and I can go talk to people that don't know about Star Wars, and know a little bit but want to know more, and they're like, hey, let's watch a movie together or something, or can you explain this to me or that to me, or every day people are asking me questions and they don't know. And
yeah, because the nerd culture on Live It is nearly non-existent. I mean, I could count on my hands how many people are like hardcore nerds like you and me,
It's not, telling them my opinions. Well, some of it is, but it's just giving them facts. Like, these are. I mean, of course, there's some opinions in there too, but it's just giving them, go and watch this, do it in this order, try answer this or that, or people like Space Roachets on there. He's a Trekkie, and I'm the Star Wars guy, and he still knows Star Wars, but not as much as me. So we have conversations about Star Wars. Nobody cares about Trek, so we don't have conversations about that. But
of course,
we talk about Star Wars. So it's just, I don't know. It's just good. It's refreshing.
I'm glad you told me he's in the Star Trek, because now I'm going to unfollow Roach right now. No.
All right. Well, that's what.
No, I'm joking. Obviously, I'm not going to unfollow my league mate. And we became best friends, me and Roach, because of our love for Wings. Remember the show The Wings from the 90s? Yeah, we both love Wings. How do you feel about Wings?
It was a great show.
It holds up. I'm rewatching it. I'm rewatching it right now, and it holds up, dude. Oh my god! Like, laugh out loud. Some of the banter on there, it's insane. It's on Hulu. I highly suggest checking it out, dude. Seriously.
I didn't watch.
It started Luke's career.
I didn't watch it much on when it was on originally, and then it would just be reruns here and there.
Same.
It's kind of hard to pick up a show on reruns.
Yeah,
when you don't know the story, and it's like you don't understand the inside jokes, and it's like, this is fucking stupid. What the hell are these people talking about? And why is it like, well, Scrubs was different, but but yeah, I was gonna say, like, why is this guy holding a stuffed dog? But Scrubs is different. Scrubs you can pick up from any point, but a lot of other shows that, like Wings or stuff like that, it's just a little bit more difficult. But
yeah, and I always tell people, Always Sunny in Philadelphia is a show you have to watch from the beginning, because like you need to watch the de-evolution of these characters, because they start off like, yeah, they're not the best people, but then they just slowly dive deeper and deeper into filth and depravity, and it's just it's beautiful to watch the de-evolution, especially of Danny DeVito. My God,
he's one of them, all right. He's I don't even know what to say about him.
That's a whole stream right there, just talking about the DeVito.
Definitely. So what? I mean, there's usually it's a little bit of talk about Star Wars. There's not
Right.
a lot going on in Star Wars right now. Do you do any collecting of the horrible things like Funko Pops or Black Series or?
So no, I don't do the collecting of that stuff. I actually specifically Funko too because I don't. That's a band-aid I don't want to rip off. You know what I'm saying? Like once you start a collection, like I do comic books, so I have a massive comic book collection. But like when it comes to that kind of stuff, I stay away from because it's just gonna be all downhill. I did buy one Funko Pop though in my lifetime, and that was Little Sebastian from Parks and Recreation because it was a tiny horse of a tiny horse who does it the best. Like what was I supposed to not get it? You know? But I digress. But I do have one very custom thing I got of Star Wars. Hold on a second. So for my wrap, I did my Darth Vader wrap right here. I had a clay chain made of. Can you guess what that is?
Yeah, that's a TIE bomber.
That's right. That's right. The Darth Vader TIE fighter right there.
TIE fighter.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. And that's some custom stuff I got there. I have to let's see what else Star Wars stuff. I mean, books. I try to it's Star Wars. There's just so much to collect, and I'm very OCD with collections, so I really try not to dive too deep. It's just better that way.
Yeah, I didn't collect. I had some things. It's a whole nother long story, but then I've been in a fireplace about 10 or 15 years ago. Some books and some toys, and I just never really got anything after that. And then I was at New York Comic Con with a couple podcasters. A couple of my buddies had flown in from California. They were here, and I was on the floor with them, and I'd never been to a convention before or a con. And
I love New York Comic Con, by the way. That's my favorite. The whole country.
Hanging out with them, and even over San Diego.
Oh God, yes. Oh my God, San Diego. Ugh. Oh, yeah, I'm triggered. I work these conventions, so that's why. Like I see, and San Diego Comic Con is so much for me because it's too much. Like with New York Comic Con, they've really segregated around. Like you have the artist alley over in this building, you have the signatures this one, and then you have the main floor there. So like things aren't so congested, things are spread out. You don't have to like go through everything just to get to one thing. You know what I mean? So that's why I like New York. It's a little bit more controlled. Now, if I'm going to choose which city I like to go to more, San Diego is definitely a better location. I mean, the sun, the food. No, I take that back. The food's way better in New York. But bottom line, San Diego is just too much. Like when I work San Diego, I have to be up by 6 a.m. every single day, and I have to be in bed at 1 a.m. every day because I have to get up and get all my food and everything before the lines go. I have to get into the building before the lines show up. And then I'm up all night, networking and going to what we call in the industry BarCon, where all the industry people go and hang out at bars and talk and network and all that kind of stuff. Because I'll tell you an industry secret in comic books. Most comic books have been made because of drinking and partying, 100%. Like you would be surprised at the amount of comic books that have been pitched just sitting at a bar at a convention. For real, I'm not even lying to you. Some of the best books you've ever read.
Well, I can imagine that, and I haven't been into comic books lately, or when I was a little kid, I liked comic books. But that's all. They're in the dark time of Star Wars. I never got into Legends and reading the books and everything, so I just had the movies. Now recently, since I never left Star Wars. Like even in my teens and 20s or whatever, I would get Star Wars stuff for my birthday or Christmas because people, what do you buy a 20-year-old that doesn't talk to you anymore, or a 25-year-old that lives on the other side of the country, or just things like that. It's like we'll just send them some Star Wars stuff. So I was always getting that, but the books, until I found Audible, it's like wait a second, I can just put these in my ears and go to work, and in New York City, I don't live far away, but it still might take me. It might take me an hour to commute back and back or to work back and forth. That's 2 hours. If you do that, you can kill a book in a week.
Easy. Oh yeah.
Or walking the dog or doing the dishes, or you get headphones or earbuds that are waterproof, and you take those in the shower with you, and you're all set then. And I mean, not as much listening to music. So I've read every. I'm 3 books behind. I have sitting over here on my counter because I have them now because I'm getting books for review by a few publishers.
Nice. These are canon now, right? Because they took. I literally was in the halfway through Darth Plagueis when they said none of it's canon anymore, and I was like, "You bastards!"
But see, that's still a great book. I love that book. And
oh my god, can we talk about that for the next 6 hours? Because sure. I seriously love, dude. The way it's like we've always seen people in everything take over using power or force, but the Sith, specifically Plagueis, take over using politics. It's like, what? So freaking dope. You know what I mean? Like Plagueis was such a brilliant motherfucker. Straight up.
Like, sorry. What Palpatine did is canon. And I heard today that you talk about canon sometimes, and some people don't understand what that word means.
Right. Yeah.
which is part of a problem we've had here, because you talk about canon, people are like, I don't believe in canon. All it does, it's like, well, canon's facts, dude. Like, what you have canon and you have legends. You can use legends to build canon. You can't do it the other way around. And right. It's like, Luke and Leia are brother and sister. That's canon.
Right.
Luke Skywalker went and lived on an island by himself for years. That's canon. You can't say, not my Luke Skywalker. Well, it fucking is, because that's the story. You write the story that you got to deal with it. You might not like it. You might think it's bad, but it is what it is.
And we live in this really weird era where fans think they control everything. And even though I'm 100% happy that they switched the Sonic movie because of the outrage, I still think it sets a bad precedent for other properties moving forward, because we as fans should not have a choice in what comes out there. You know what I'm saying? And I the whole idea of like, okay, well, I have my own headcanon and like all that stuff. That's cool and all, but like at the end of the day, you're right. These are facts. Okay, this isn't opinions anymore. This is straight facts, Yeah,
you can have opinions on the facts, and we can then discuss the facts on why we think it happened and whether or not we would have, if I would have done, it's the I want or I just like, they don't deserve anything. They're characters that someone else made up. Right. If you think they deserve something, then write your own Star Wars.
Straight up.
But make sure that it's not canon Star Wars. It's not real Star Wars. It's a story that you made up. That it could be a great story. I have friends that have written fan fiction, and they get upset that you call it fan fiction. Well, what do you want to call it? It's Star Wars. Well, no, it's not. It's based on Star Wars characters. Just like
do you have a license? No, it's not canon. It's not even legends. It's fanfic. That's it. Bottom line.
But people don't understand that. People want to be more important than they are. Well, you know what? Yeah, I'm a Star Wars content creator. I don't create content for Star Wars, but I take Star Wars and I take stuff from Star Wars, and that's what I make content out of. So I mean, there's a big difference. And some people have asked me, "Oh, what do you do for Star Wars?" And I don't do anything for Star Wars. I take Star Wars and I talk about it. I don't joke. Not that I don't joke about it, but like there's no misconceptions in my mind on what it is. Do I make a couple $2 talking about Star Wars? Yeah. Does Lucasfilm pay me to talk about Star Wars? No. They probably rather wish I didn't, because I'm an idiot half the time when I talk about it. But
everything he says is not canon. No.
Getting back to the whole Plagueis thing, Palpatine's canon, and the things that Palpatine did is canon.
Mm-hmm.
But the story on how he learned to do those isn't yet canon. And that's where the Plagueis novel comes in, because Palpatine's master said, listen, Darth Bane back, millennia ago said, we can't do this. We're not going to be able to fight the Jedi. So, because you have the Sith and the Jedi, you have the good guys and the bad guys.
Right. And the bad guys are sitting there fighting each other too much.
Yeah. So it's like, we just need to, we're going to go and we're going to sustain ourselves secretly. And it's going to take thousands and thousands of years, but eventually we'll be able to come back. And that's what happens. But Plagueis decides this is our time, but we can't go fight these thousands and thousands of Jedis that used to be way more. But now now they've come down to so few that we can put things into power, and we can use politics, and we can use, the things that the prequels were made out of that people talk about and hate them because it is kind of boring, but it's interesting. You know, there's never, it's not action, but talking about trade routes and blockades and, you know, all these other things that can happen.
It's real war stuff, you know?
Yeah. And just how they go and they,
but also not forget, like, the Sith didn't, like, see, we always think of the Sith like, okay, we just got these power guys. They're trying to find powerful people like Darth Maul and Darth Vader and Count Dooku. But no, like, before the Sith were, like, really, like, starting to get their Sith together, they were picking up people like Plagueis' master, Darth Tenebrous, who was an engineer and helped create technology for the Sith to use. The Sith were using up until the end of Jedi, you know what I'm saying? Ships that were completely and totally undetected, like by everything, things that are basically invisible, like that kind of tech. And then Tenebrous was like, okay, so I got the technology down, I got power down, so I'm gonna go grab Plagueis, who is in the intergalactic banking clan, because we got the technology, now we can start controlling the money. And then Plagueis took that and he just obviously, because he's a Sith, he killed his master. Spoiler alert, guys. Sorry. And
if you don't know,
he takes over. And the way the whole idea of using the money to control everything, because, and especially in our world, like, that's where the power is, like, for real. Like, the power is in the money, like, always is. Always, everything bad that happens is because of money. Everything good that happens nowadays is because of money. Like, let's be real, you know? We like to think it's like, you know, good and evil, but it just comes down to money, dollars and cents, you know?
It really does. And I mean, that's how, you know, people joke about, in the real word, the cabal. But I mean, how do we know that there isn't a group of people that are just like sitting in their chairs, smoking cigars, or, you know, sitting in a boardroom being like, okay, we want these people to fight these people now, and, you know, send this country over to invade this one, and let's sabotage their thing so that these people can advance. Yeah. And, you know, and things with trade routes, and, you know what, let's burn this entire crop and cause a famine over here because this will work for over, you know. And is it the same thing? Who knows? Is it far-fetched? Kinda, but is it believable? It sure as hell is.
It really is. And that's what I think is so cool about Star Wars, is the relatability that it has in that. I mean, like, you know, even in the 70s and early 80s, we were still kind of scared of Nazis, you know, and that's what the Empire was. And seeing them then taken down was just like, yeah, let's take down Hitler. But when they started the sequel series, they're like, well, we can't scare them with Nazis anymore. No one's afraid of them. They're jokers. So what did they bring in? They brought in the neo-Nazis. They brought in Kylo Ren, who was basically the Columbine kid, you know, petting the helmet, like, you know, super goth and everything, and, you know, and like, that's what we're scared of. We're scared of that Columbine kid. We're scared of the neo-Nazis, the people that knew how bad the Nazis were, that knew what they did was wrong and still want to do it, you know. And that's why Star Wars, whether it's done to all of our satisfaction or not, it's still a great representation and relatability for our world, even though it's in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, and people talk, well, you know, leave politics out of Star Wars. It's been about nothing but politics, like you just said. It's been about nothing but politics.
Straight up.
You know, it makes me laugh now, like the people that are finding out Rage Against the Machine, is their songs are all political. Like, what did you think they were about? Like, and now they're getting upset 30 years later. It's like, wait, you mean that's about politics? That's anti-government? Like,
are you kidding me? This is a real conversation out there. The Rage Against the Machine is too political. Oh, are you kidding me? What? Next, they're gonna be like, oh, and Korn. Apparently, they're talking about school shootings and how bad they are, and Freak on the Leash. Like, where have you guys been? Like, it's always been political, and that was an era of like angry rockers. You know what I'm saying? That were trying to change the world. You know.
Yeah,
the hippies. The hippie movement of it was over, so they're like, okay, well, let's rock and let's change the world that way. Let's not like give flowers to the machine, you guys. We need to think of something else to do to the machine. Let's rage against the machine.
Yeah, I mean, it's just funny that people are so, you know, in their own little world and don't actually sit down and, you know, maybe everybody needs to just sit down and fire something up and just think. And, you know, do whatever they got to do to get out there and outside of that box, and just think that everyone thinks about the same way as I do. If you don't think the same way I do, you're my enemy.
And that's something Dave Chappelle thought a long time ago. Like, just because someone has a different opinion than you, they're like, they think they hate you. Like, I mean, granted, if somebody thinks that, like, you know, all black people should die, yeah, that opinion I kind of not okay with, you know. But, you know, if someone thinks that, you know, the Raiders should stay in Oakland, you know, I don't agree. You know, get them out of there, you know. But
well, the funny thing, so when it comes to politics,
Dylan was canceled for that.
There's a couple people on I know on Live It that would like to cancel you for that thought, but there's with the big old 10-pack snack attack coming in, Dylan.
Boom, 10 snack. Got it. I did it live and at the same time. I was like, I clicked it and said it. Boom.
But yeah, like, so I'm pretty much, I'd say I'm down the middle. I'm probably closer to like a libertarian. I have some thoughts that are very, very liberal. I have some thoughts that are very, very conservative. So my liberal friends think I'm conservative. My conservative friends think I'm very liberal.
Yeah.
Like, no, just because I think something should be one way doesn't mean I have to think everything has to be that way. You know, I can think something is completely different. So, you know, and that's what a lot of people understand. Like, how can you have this thought or this idea and then, you know, that's very liberal or very conservative, and then on the next one be the complete polar opposite? It's like, because that's what free thinking and having a brain is all about. And you know, it's just kind of like the world's kind of bad when everyone's on one side or the other. If everyone's just kind of, you know, don't be in the middle. Be, you know, like, and I'm saying be kind of more like me. I mean, don't be like me, but, you know, have your own thoughts. And just because you think one thing doesn't mean you have to think everything that way. You can be over here and over there. And yes, you can pick and choose what you want and how you want it and thoughts like that. And, you know, you don't have to be a rebel and you don't have to be imperial. You know, you can be a smuggler and just kind of do whatever you got to do to get through.
And I feel the same way. Like I always say, I'm a fiscal conservative, but like socially, I'm very liberal. Like it's this crazy thing. I just think people should have freedoms, and I think in most cases, the government should just stay out of it, and like we should be, you know, being a little bit more awake. Like the more government means the more government, and I'm kind of against that. You know, not to dive too deep into my soapbox, but yeah, I'm the kind of guy that's like wants to shoot guns at my gay friend's wedding and smoking weed plants. You know, that's the kind of guy I am. You know,
yep.
You can't put me as a liberal or a conservative because I know this sounds crazy. I like to think of myself as a moral person. Like that's my party is morality. You know what I'm saying? Like what is best for everybody? You know what I'm saying? What's going to move us forward? What's going to make us better as a whole? You know, that's what I think about. I don't just think about, oh, how is this going to affect me? How, you know, I got to think about everything. You got to think of the big picture. And so often people just think that life is Occam's razor, but Occam's razor means that usually that's the right answer. It doesn't mean always, you know. I always reference this thing where like our whole lives we've been told that female dog pee ruins lawns, right? But that's not true because all dog pee does. The thing is females, they squat when they pee and guys lift their legs and pee on trees and bushes. So they're not sitting there ruining lawns because they aren't doing the same thing. So it's too simple to just say like, oh, the problem is the female dog pee. Like, no, it's there. That's the, you know, does that make sense? Am I getting them tangenty here? My bad.
No, dude, that makes complete sense because I mean, that's what you can't, you know, like you said, you need to think about something. And I'm the completely same way, you know, for my gay friend's bachelor party, I want to go deer hunting with them. You know, we're gonna make beef jerky that night. So we're not wasting it. We're not just going out to kill, you know, we're not going to kill an elephant because it's fucking huge. And we got this big ass gun that can do it. And then just, you know, put the trophy on the wall and now there's none left because I killed the last one. You know, that I got something problem. You know, like I have no problem with hunting if you're going to use what you're hunting or if it's nuisance hunting or whatever. You want to go out and kill coyotes because they're taking over the country? Okay, fine. Go ahead and do that. You want to stuff those? Fine. That's great. You know, deer, you need to eat them. That's great. You know, other things you're just going to kill them to kill them. And, you know, they're not doing anything bad or anything. PJ, good night. Thanks for talking with us.
Bye, PJ.
Yeah, this is our Star Wars talk that doesn't talk about Star Wars, but that's what happens a lot of times here.
That's right.
You know, And we're going to get into Star Wars really quick, though. I know you don't have a lot of time. But, yeah, I mean, that's the same way I am. It's like, if you're not hurting anybody else and, whether it's physically or monetarily, then let me do what I want to do. If you want to,
Exactly. I don't get on people like, do I think it's weird that people like to put hooks in their body and hang from the ceiling, while they get fellatio? Yeah, I think that's weird. But does that hurt me? No. So go ahead and do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Like, I don't care. You're not hurting me. You're not doing anything to hurt me. So, and you're not hurting anyone else. So who cares? Who
Do you have
cares?
a camera in my room?
So what?
Do you have a camera in my room?
No, why?
Never mind.
Oh. I was like, huh? I got so deep into thought there.
I'm a little bit too fat, I think, for that. But all right, we got a couple minutes left. Let's bring it into some Star Wars. Video games. I know you're into video games.
Yes.
Fallen Order. What did you think about that?
The last Star Wars video game I played, because I don't count Battlefront, is what's it called? This Force Unleashed, which was such an amazing game. And I thought we were going to get so many more games like that, where you're just using the Force to like throw people off ledges and slam against walls and stuff. And unfortunately we didn't, but I am a huge fan of that, and the whole apprentice arc and all that. That game specifically taught me about a little bit more about the canon, and taught me a little bit more about like the Sith, because that's where I first heard about the rule of two. Like, because I always wonder, I was like, why is there only like two Sith? Like, why is there only like these? Where's everybody else?
Yeah. Well, I mean, play Fallen Order, dude. It's amazing.
I've heard that. I have heard that. Yeah.
It's. I mean, it took me 120 hours. It should take about 20. It took me about 120, but I hadn't played video games in years, and I mean, like, in the decade of anything that had a teen in it, I hadn't played anything, so I was way behind, and just the basics of trying to figure out. I was just a Mario, just running across, and it didn't really work that way. But yeah, and well, they just announced that there's a rumor that there's some more stuff. So it came out last October, November, and then a few months ago, they made some adjustments to it. So if you finish the game, you can then go on and play the same game, but start it over. But you have your the things you picked up, the clothes, the lightsabers, things like that. So it's that way you can go and complete the game, but you can't just go and complete it.
Right.
You need to still play it to complete it. But the things that were hard to get, or the secrets that you might have missed, you can find or whatever. Well, rumor has it that there's going to be some new content coming out for the game, and that's all speculation. That just came out a day or two ago.
Who does? Is that EA that does that one?
No, it was not. I don't think it was EA.
Hold on, let me look it up right now. I'll tell you right now. Fallen Order. We're gonna get canceled right now. Publisher, Electronic Arts. Yeah. Respawn Entertainment. Yeah.
Respawn.
No one I've ever heard of.
Well, yeah. I think I don't know. I'm not into the whole thing where there's some other people that would be able to tell us a little better, but Respawn did it. I know Respawn's done a bunch of open world games, I believe, recently. You just muted yourself. Oh, there you go.
That was an accident. I was like,
what are you doing? You got a fart, dude? Like, what's that?
That's exactly what I just totally farted. No, that was a total accident. I sometimes just click on the screen, just because I have ADHD. I fiddle. So I was just, and I clicked the one spot I wasn't supposed to. Good thing I didn't do this one. Oh no. I'm going to have a picture there.
But yeah, so yeah, there's some rumors that there's, and they put in a feature where you can go fight, the end guys. So you can fight the sisters, you can fight other creatures. So you can just sit there and fight them over and over again to learn how to fight them. And also, like, even though I've beaten the game once, and I've got a few other games going in different parts of it, you come up to the the end guy, and you sit there and you fight for 10 times, 20 times, a couple hours until you beat him. Then you beat him and it's done. And it's like, I don't know how I did it. I just got lucky, a couple shots or whatever. We can go fight that person over and over and over again, so you can actually get really good at it. So I mean, that's really beneficial. But you also have now whatever new content that's going to be coming out, and it's rumored that, well, it's pretty much been told that there's a Fallen Order 2 that's going to be coming out. Whether or not it's the same characters, completely different storyline, whatever. I think it's still a couple years out, but whatever.
You want to hear my idea for like the most perfect video game or TV show for Star Wars in the world? You ready for this?
Sure.
It's one show, two characters in the same time coming up. One is young Obi-Wan, the other is young Darth Maul, and them coming up and seeing the different sides and seeing their different training and how they came up, to be some of the best Force wielders that the galaxy has ever seen.
I think that would be pretty cool.
Right? Especially Maul, because, hold on. I'm glad you're here because I have a Star Wars question that has been bugging me since I saw the last season of Clone Wars. What happened? Okay, I see these spoilers, guys. Clone Wars spoilers, so sorry. I see in, second to last season, Darth Maul takes over Mandalore and then gets into a fight with Palpatine, which is by far the coolest fight scene in all of Star Wars. Don't at me straight up. I've seen that thing a million times. But then, he takes him away. And then in the last season, he pops up and he's back to being a gangster without any strings of Palpatine. What happened there? Do you know?
Palpatine just had the idea of... so it comes into... Palpatine wanted Anakin. Mm-hmm. And that was known for a while because then you get in the whole... that's the other thing that... Anakin was born of a virgin birth. His mom, there's no father. Even though it could be, it's fun speculation that maybe it was Qui-Gon years earlier, but whatever. That's all fan fiction and stuff.
Not canon.
Real, not canon. But so Anakin's born not because of what Palpatine did. He did not make Anakin be born. The Force made Anakin born because of what Palpatine was doing. So I know I just contradicted myself there, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I totally.
He didn't create him, but yeah. So I mean, that's kind of what happened. And then so Palpatine's plan then with Maul, we don't know about it, but we find out then later on through Maul that the plan was never to take Anakin, because he knew if he took Anakin, that Anakin probably wouldn't go, number one, and number two, if he would have taken him, he can't kill him. If he would have killed him, the Force would have then created, another Anakin or Anakins or whatever it needed to do so he had to, because the Force wants to keep itself in balance, and the balance isn't necessarily numbers. It's not a numbers game. It's a power game, or going back and forth. So that's why even though there was only 2 Sith, they were more powerful than the 10,000 Jedi or 40,000 Jedi or whatever there were. So he had to. So that's where the plan comes in, that we need to lure Anakin to the dark side, and that's where a lot of the things happen. And they knew that killing Qui-Gon and separating him, the whole thing was, in the last season of the Clone Wars, they were trying to get Anakin to, they were trying to get Obi-Wan with Darth Maul so that Darth Maul could kill Obi-Wan. And then Ahsoka shows up, and that's why he's like, not the Jedi I thought it was going to be. Because if they would have,
basically, Palpatine just re-releases him into the wild, essentially, just so, because he knows that if he meets Obi-Wan, he'll kill him.
No, because this is where it gets complicated. We'll do a watch party one of these days, and watch it. But Maul is trying to get revenge on Palpatine.
Right.
So Palpatine knows his plan, so he's trying to kill Anakin. it's kind of, he's trying to do the complete opposite of what Palpatine's doing.
Right, but what I'm saying is, how does he get away from Palpatine though? Because to be able to go and do the things that he wants to do, because like at the end of their fight in Clone Wars, he takes him and says, "I'm going to take," like he just straight up takes him, and then we never see him again, and the show ends, and then later we have it come back. So that's the part I'm confused. Like, so you're saying he didn't get sent into the wild? Does he escape him, or like does he torture him for a little while and then just be like, you know, like what happens there? There's a gap there that I can't find on the internet. No one's being able to tell me.
That's comic book stuff. I'll have to double check on the exact details.
So there is canon that happened somewhere.
Yeah, there's something, I forget what it was, but something happened in between there. But that's where it gets so that, you know, Maul survives because he's so full of hate. And his hate keeps him alive, you know, through when he's cut in half and he's killed. Well, he never really died. And then you get, you know, other things that happen in the Clone Wars, you know, with the sisters and everything. So
Savage, all that.
Yeah. You know, and that's kind of where it's like, you know, Palpatine also goes away from the rule of two, and you know, has these other apprentices lined up and probably training them. And we don't even know, these are the ones that we know about. There could be other ones out there that people will be like, well, they're retconning it. No, we're just getting more story. They're not changing anything. You know, just because something added doesn't retcon it.
Right. A retcon would be like changing the Sith lightsabers to being pink instead of red. Yeah. That's a retcon.
Yeah. You know, adding stuff doesn't change anything, or, you know, finding something out that, oh, that wasn't really his father. Or, I mean, that would be kind of stupid to do, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's just adding more to the story or whatever. But yeah, I'm definitely going to double check in that. And then if anybody's watching this video and they know the answer, so I don't have to look it up or tell me where to find it or what comic book it's in so I can just find it there, just leave a comment below. And then I can.
We need to know, guys.
You know, that's just so much. There's like I was saying, I'm not into the comic books that much, but there are people that are, and it's just there's so much Star Wars content coming out, and so many books and movies and cartoons. And we have the Mandalorian coming out.
Yes, the best thing Star Wars has ever done, though.
25 days, 25 days, and I will probably be watching a lot of Mandalorian. I'll probably be watching Mandalorian and doing a commentary of it on Live It multiple times.
Nice.
And learning about it, and you know, watching other people's and having other people talk about it. And I mean, that's what me and my buddy. It was funny because the Mandalorian comes out, and I spend all day off of Twitter and Facebook, like almost all day, because I didn't want any spoilers. And I go over his house, and I sit on the couch, and by the end of it, we're sitting here screaming like fucking girls, hugging each other, like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What's saving you?" You know, like what is?
I have never been so excited for something that gave me zero information about what's going to happen. Right?
Yes. And you know, and the way it's going, and it's kind of like, because like we were talking about earlier, you know, oh, not my Luke Skywalker, or whatever. There's just so much, you know, but it's been happening the whole time. When George, you know, when Empire came out, there was so much strife because it's not like the original movie. And things happen. So people, you know, you can look it up on the internet. There's newspaper articles about how Star Wars is dead because you ruined it. And now it's, you know, in most groups, it's the Empire is the best movie. And, you know, then they hated Jedi because of the way it ended. And then
I've known the hate for Jedi for a long time, and I thought it was mostly because of the Ewoks. Honestly,
well, you know, the Murder Bears are a big part of it. But you know, then you get to the prequels, and you know, he made the movies he wanted to do, and you know, these are all conversations as a Star Wars nerd I've had hundreds of times and spent hours on for, you know, whatever reasons and different aspects of it. But
I want to come back and do this, man. You are definitely one of the more educated Star Wars people I talk to, and I definitely there are so many things, like we were very narrow with the things we talked about tonight, and I'm having such a blast, dude. You definitely got to have me on again, because we could literally go for hours about different fan theories I've read, like, you know, about Ewoks being force sensitive, or Jar Jar being a Sith Lord, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Like, There's so much there.
But I mean, yeah, I mean that's the whole thing. So he decides he's going to make the movies. Then after he makes them, there's so much hate for him. He's like, I'm not making movies anymore. And then he goes and sells it. So we were never going to get any more Star Wars, or if we do, it's going to be about germs and midichlorians and microscopic shit or whatever that he wanted to do. So then
that was a light retcon. That was a light retcon.
then he goes and sells it, and then people are mad that he sold it. And then they were making new Star Wars. Well, it's not my Star Wars. Don't watch it, dude. Like, you're not happy with anything else because it's not the original one or whatever.
Exactly.
And,
you've been hating on it since Empire. There's those people. And yet they're still going to every movie. They're still, they hate it, but they love it. Yep. It's almost they love to hate it. That's so Sith. It's so their hate keeps them going.
Yeah. I mean, this is what happens sometimes. We sit here and we talk, and it's just talking about everything, and we let the conversation go where it's going to go. And on Monday nights we do this. We kind of have like a featured guest, and then just talk about whatever afterwards. I know you got to go, so we can't really do that on Saturday nights. On Saturday nights, that's kind of what we do. We just do an open forum. Anybody that wants to come on and talk can come on and talk. So you're more than welcome anytime. Then. And on Live It, whenever I'm on Live It, if I'm live, just come on and we can talk about whatever.
Hell yeah, bro! That's one of my favorite new things is to call in other people's streams.
I've noticed recently that's what you've been calling in.
I've been trying. Well, mostly because there's a lot of people I can't like talk to like on a regular basis. So I'm just like Seta. I'm gonna call in because I don't get to talk to you that often. Like they're like literally in like August. You could look at like my WhatsApp history, and it's like almost all just me and Seta just talking to each other, sending each other memes and stickers. Like it's just like the friendship there. And so lately we haven't been able to talk, so I've been like trying to jump on anytime I can. And then, oh my God, today was wild. But
yeah, today you guys just go download Live It and check it out for yourself. I mean, it's just it's kind of like this, but just people talking about whatever. So we're talking about Star Wars, and other people are talking about whatever, or they're singing or dancing, or just talking about making food. It's kind of like everybody gets their own little TV show, and they can change their broadcasting and show minute by minute if they want to. Yeah. And it's not a lot of garbage that you can get off of other things like Instagram Live, because they kind of you have to be contracted. They have to agree to let you stream on there. So it's kind of more regulated. I mean, it's not regulated really in the aspect, but they have to give you the okay to do it.
Right.
Is what it comes down to.
Yeah, right.
So is there anything you want to share with us before you go?
Yes, there is one thing I'd like to share. I'd like to share how awesome it was for you to have me today, dude. It has been a blast. Like I know we haven't talked much on Live It and other things, but I have major respect for you, and like I know you put in the work and you go around and you spread the love as well as you can, and that's the thing I like about you, man. And I'm just feel so when you asked me to be on your show, I was excited. Like I couldn't wait to come and talk Star Wars with you, because you're like you said, bro, you are the Live It Star Wars guy, hands freaking down. I don't know, if you may not be the only, you're like standing at the beach on YouTube, I know, but you are a freaking diamond in the rough over there. So thank you so much for bringing the Star Wars to the Live It world.
Thank you, man.
I don't know what that move was. I don't know.
that was I knew what it meant though. That's the whole thing,
Exactly.
Anybody else that's watching this show, if you don't know what it means, I have a Patreon. You can donate to that, and I will explain it to you personally.
That's right.
So
make sure to get to the sexy Polaroid peer, because you do not want to miss those of TooMedToo's. Okay. Or is that? Oh wait, is the Polaroids on your OnlyFans?
No, that's just send me cash and I'll give you an envelope.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, cool. Because Jay Zill showed me a stack that he got from you. I just figured it was from the Patreon.
Oh no, those were free for the belly button club.
Oh my God, the belly button. Oh man. But anyways, yes, for sure.
And you can be found on all of these social medias at Mrdylangray.
That's right. With everything Mr. Dylan Gray across the board, and that's with the AY and a YL.
with some more comic books coming out in the near future.
Yes, yes, very near future. Actually, I have a couple things in the NDA-ness right now, but yes.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks for everybody in the chat that stopped by. Thanks for everybody on Live It that was here hanging out with us. And with that, I say good day. May the force be with you. Always. Dylan, thank you, man. I'll talk to you in the Live It world soon.
Adios, amigo.
All right. Peace. All right. That was Mr. Dylan Gray. So, like we always talk about, this show, it's Star Wars that brings us together, but it's not always Star Wars that we have in common or that we end up talking about. I mean, we hit a lot of things really quick. He's done some comic book work. He's used some of the experiences that he's gotten in communications or something along those lines for aspects of the real world. And yeah, it's just it's amazing what we can what a small world it is and how big it is at the same time. So with that, I say good day. May the force be with you. All right, people. That is the podcast portion of this. I don't know. We got people in here that want to do what's in the box. We could always do some of what's in the box. I mean, we'll at least do a couple things for what's in the box. I got a lot of stuff for what's in the box this week. So let me just do this really quick and we'll see what we got. Well, first off, we'll start with this guy right here. This came in the mail today. Not really sure what this one is. All right, we got a Yoda number 269 on that one. Take a look at that. That goes in the. We need to do a little review pile on that, or show that to the world. All right, let's see. This guy right here, we got Entertainment Earth. What did we get from Entertainment Earth? Oh, sweet. We got Luke Skywalker, 40th anniversary. Right there. I was not expecting that. That is pretty cool. Just throw it anywhere. It's fine. It's not a big deal. What's in the box? It's great because I had so many things pre-ordered. I don't even know what's coming in anymore. Oh, shit! Dude! Very careful that these are stuck together with tape. Tape them together. We got Captain Cardinal right here. And we got DJ Rex. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Not done yet. Yeah, so we got another one. Hasbro Pulse, what could you be? I went to the doctor again. I'm out of work till at least the middle of November with my medical issues. So I have another month. I'm going to get a lot more content out there. Just had to get some things figured out and work on a couple things. And, you know, I was out of town on vacation and just the way everything is. So, you know. Yeah, buddy. Check out this bad boy right here. So, the Hoff Wampa. I don't even know if you can still get these anymore right now. We're going to check really quick. And we're going to see. We're going to just go to eBay and see what's up with eBay. Because it's not even a Black Series. Black Series Wampa. The price isn't too crazy. I mean, the price was about $100 the day that they came out, I think, because they were sold out. But now it's $60. $70. $80. A day left in the bid's $40. But there's also a Wampa set with this that goes with Luke and the Wampa. But this one is just the Wampa. And you can, you know, hook it up with the other Black Series that came out and get that going on. So they kind of, you know, put a little extra in there for you. But yeah, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try and do more YouTube content and creating on that end of the deal for during the day. And then in the evening, try and hop on, live it, and do my thing over there. Or maybe do a little bit of both. Who knows? Maybe I can set up on Live It how the way I have it right now and do that. And then edit, make some videos, you know, anything like that. And yeah, I mean, that's, I don't know. Let's check something else right now. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot more content coming out and a lot more little short videos along with this, and try and streamline some things, and just do a little bit of YouTube, a little bit of Patreon, a little bit of a little bit of everything instead of just hours on here. But that's kind of where we're at right now, I believe. We got the office set up. We got some toys around. We got some toys to get rid of. We got a bunch of stuff going on. So it's going to be a good fourth quarter. With that, I say good day. May the force be with you. Always.